Hey everybody, it's Matt. I'm making a new Heroclix video, and this video is about the Civil War Storyline Organized Play event Month 3 at my local comic book store Pastimes located in the western North Carolina region. If you're in that area, definitely check them out. So we were allowed to make a 300-point team, and we could use up to 150 points from our own collection, and the rest had to come from the 2 booster packs we opened. So out of that, I made a team of I chose Taskmaster and Wasp for my own collection, and I pulled Radioactive Man and Bullseye out of my 2 boosters. And so that allowed me to make a 290-point team that was a pro registration theme team. And I ended up going 1-2, had some really close games. Let me just tell you how some of these pieces do. Let's just start with Radioactive Man. Oh, you can't really even see. I will move Radioactive Man to the front. Let's move these guys over a little bit. It's always a little bit tricky doing this when it's only half a window. Okay. So this is Radioactive Man. He's freaking amazing. If you don't know what he does, he has a special attack power for his first 3 clicks, where if he's at the beginning of your turn, if he's adjacent to an opponent, he can either do 2 damage to everybody adjacent to him, or he can do 1 damage to all of the characters within 3 squares. So he has like a powerful poison ability, and he's really durable. He has 3 clicks of 18 toughness, then he bounces onto like 2 or 3 clicks of 17 invulnerability. Just super hard to get rid of. But in the first 2 months, I think I didn't play him the first month because I was anti-registration, but the second month, and I think for other people too, he's been playing really well because people don't expect what he's going to do, and even when they go after him, he's so durable and all that kind of stuff that he's usually been able to, my second month, one of my games, I pulled off a really nice trick with him and Taskmaster, outwitting somebody's defense, and then hitting them for the 2 damage because they were next to sidestepping up, then hitting them for the 2 damage with his special poison thing. But this month he didn't really do that well because they kept. I mean, like I would slightly move him up, but every single one of my opponents would go right after him first off. He was the first one to get KO'd every game, and not only was it bad because he was close combat and stuff, but at the same time he has Masters of Evil team ability, which you can barely see because it almost matches the red on his thing. But he has the Masters of Evil team ability, which Taskmaster actually really needs because he's a wild card. So you can wild card to the Masters of Evil team ability, and then Taskmaster can just act every single turn and with no repercussions. But if he's dying so early every game, then that takes away that option for Taskmaster. So he kept dying every single game really, really quick. Taskmaster was then limited. He could only act every 2 turns. Taskmaster would get targeted almost next every single game. And they almost always like hit him for a little bit of damage. But Taskmaster can take a little bit of damage, and he can always go back to his top clicks for the remainder of the turn at least. So he was always alright. Wasp never got targeted, and I think it's because she's just so hard to hit. She got targeted later on, like later in the game if they had Pulse Wave or something, they can ignore her shape change and her super senses and her tiny size. But in Bullseye is so fragile. He has a big whopping 17 willpower, so no damage reducers. He doesn't even have stealth on his top click. So even if you hide him in hindering, if he's facing off against another Bullseye, I mean Bullseye is the counter to Bullseye, and and this was my first time using Bullseye, and his 12 attack is really freaking nice. He's actually a great counter against Taskmaster because he can see his stealth and stuff. But I didn't run into that many Taskmasters, and honestly, like my team just didn't do very well, and I think it's part of it because the cream is rising to the top of the figures. Basically, like as months go on, as constructed it grows, and we can add more and more pieces from our own collection, the quality of the pieces is exponentially growing to the point where commons and uncommons may not be as potent as the rares and the super rares. And a lot of the pieces I was facing were rares and super rares. I think one of my opponent had 3 rare team with they were playing a Songbird and 2 Cobalt Man, and that's 3 rares. And their entire team was 3 rares, and Cobalt Man is super potent. Songbird's the only TK in the set, and I'm running a common, an uncommon, and a rare. And while they're decent pieces, they definitely lack some things. Nobody has willpower on my team. So it was. I mean, he has willpower. He has willpower. He has. But later on in his dial, he gets hit onto like other stuff. So I mean, I don't have any Indomitable on my team. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't have any Indomitable on my team. And so, I mean, Wasps, you really don't want to push her, but she does so much damage with Range Combat Expert, you really want to. But then if you push her too much, she just becomes her like 4th and 5th click. I just don't even like whatsoever. It's like some kind of 9 attack incapacitate with like exploit weakness. She's so ranged, I don't get it. Taskmaster, you can push. I'll take that back. I don't know. I didn't have a very good month. I mean, very good matches. Um, I thought I was gonna do a little bit better. I did squeak out a win in one of my games. We had both lost a 70-point piece, and I was able to just squeak out a win at the very last second. I will say, while the pieces aren't the strongest, they do have potential pretty much their entire dolls. And even just Wasp and Taskmaster can, teaming up, you turn him to the enhancement click, put him next to her. She uses Range Combat Expert. You can hit somebody really hard, and then he can running shot, Psychic Blast because it's on the same click, that same target. Or him do that first, knock him off the like invulnerability or whatever they have, and then she pumps him full of damage with the Range Combat Expert. So I mean the team has its bonuses. It's just I just didn't do very well, and my last game was just a complete mess. The opponent had 2 Cobalt Man. Well, he had a Cobalt Man and Iron Man, which he has subbed out from a Cobalt Man, a Speed Freak, and Songbird. And I faced 2 Speed Freaks, and the Speed Freaks just messed me up the whole day. Speed Freaks just messed me up the whole day. Speed Freak would run out. Speed Freak is the ultimate like just counter to Taskmaster because he has Precision Strike. He can get through Taskmaster's super senses, and you pull Taskmaster back to your team, and then everybody just punches Taskmaster like crazy. It's also a good counter to Wasp because it ignores her super senses and ignores her tiny size because you can just run up and punch her. And Bullseye again doesn't have any defense reducers, so I mean that Speed Freak is ridiculous. I think it does 3 damage with Hypersonic Speed, Precision Strike. Starts out with Invincible, gets Impervious. I mean, the tactic to Speed Freak though is you have to hit him for like 2 or 3 damage and knock him onto his charge click. Then he can't pull as many shenanigans. But it's really hard when they give him like 2 clicks of Invincible, then like 2 clicks of Impervious. So like you have to get through that Invincible. So like if you wanted to hit him for 2, you'd have to hit him for 4, which is ridiculous. I mean, Wasp, it can do it, but you have to sacrifice the chance because I think he has almost like a 17, and I don't know. It's really hard to hit him. It's really hard to take on Speed Freak, and I faced him 2 times. And actually, Speed Freak was on the 2 teams that beat me too. So Speed Freak is just ridiculous. So that's my team did all right. I will say this. I'm getting a little sick of playing with these pieces. We had another player switch from anti-registration to pro registration, and that we had 6 players show up. So 5 out of 6 players were pro registration. 1 was anti. So pretty much every round I had to face pro registration pieces while playing pro registration pieces, and it's only gonna be the same next month. And I just feel like I've been oversaturated with these pieces. I gotta face that 1 player that was anti-registration. He beat me because he just kept rolling 11s and 12s the whole time. And he had Speed Freak, which is so important for an anti-registration team. And he played it very well. Kudos to him. And he's only like 12 years old. So way to go, Jay, if you're watching this. Way to go. But I am getting a little bit, I'm getting over burnt out on this set. There's so few pieces in the set. And, facing the same pieces every month, playing the same pieces every month. Um, just a little bit burnt out, I'll say. But I will say we had 6 people and 6 prizes, so everybody walked away with a prize. And my prize was Mr. Iron Man. Um, he's cool. I mean, like, I will say this. Excuse me, my throat's a little dry. I will say this. We've opened up 22 out of possible 24 prize packs. Over the 3 months that we've been having Civil War events, and not a single sentry has been pulled. And one of my friends posted a thread on AC Rams about it, and it's disappointing. Multiple Captain Marvels. We haven't had very many Night Nurses, maybe 2 Night Nurses. Not many Punishers either, maybe 2 or 3 Punishers, but like a whole lot of everything else, and it's disappointing because I wish they would have sent a set of 6 with every case, so that you would know every month, like, okay, I have another chance to get that Night Nurse. I have another chance to get that Night Nurse. You know. And but I got the Iron Man, and he's cool. But my underlining like disappointment with the prizes in this set is kind of taken up by looking at his keywords, because I'm such a keyword player. You know. I'm all about the keywords and stuff like that, and making theme teams. And it's an Iron Man without Avengers keyword. He has armor, pro registration, which pro registration is going to be kind of a useless keyword after this event is over. I think there's like a piece or two in Superior Foes of Spider-Man with that keyword, but or anti. But for the most part, in 6 months, we will never see these 2 keywords ever again on another piece, in my opinion. So it's kind of a useless keyword. Scientist, which is okay. Then Stark Industries, which is very, very limited. So armor and scientist, but I don't do a lot of like generic theme teams. I do a lot of Avengers, and this is an Iron Man without Avengers keyword. I just very limited. Looking at the overall grand prize figures coming out, they've shown off Black Panther, no Avengers keyword. They've shown off Doctor Strange, no Avengers keyword. Like those were 2 pieces I was kind of interested in, but because of the keywords, Doctor Strange doesn't have Fantastic Four. I really wish he had Fantastic Four. I got to get the one from Age of Ultron because he does have the Fantastic Four keyword. Because of all that stuff, like I'm just really not excited for the grand prize figures either. The only one I'm really interested in is the Namor, and that's because I really like Atlantis stuff. I posted an Atlantis team this past week, and I really like the way you can fill a map with water and then play pieces that gain bonuses when they're in water. I think it's a very reminds me of trading card decks where you can like have a theme and then get bonuses off of it. But that was my team. That was my results. The pictures to the left. I hope you enjoyed the pictures. I hope you enjoyed me talking about this event. I think this video kind of went a little bit differently. I didn't spend as much time on like how the figures work and stuff because we've seen them month after month, and you probably talked to them about your friends and stuff. But I spent more time just talking about how I feel about the event overall. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video and support this channel. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic day and have fun playing Heroclix in the future, everybody. Bye-bye.